you belong to just your local Realtor Association. Welcome to today's edition of Realtor Frequently Asked Questions, because in light of everything happening in organized real estate, your friend here, Leigh Brown, is getting lots and lots of questions, and so feel free to ask them. I won't call you out for not knowing. No worries, friend, because sometimes we just get involved in things without paying attention to all of the underlying details. So in realtor world, so when I say realtor, I mean the R, the little circle on it, the trademark, the big capital R, those of us who subscribe to the code of ethics and belong to the trade association. If you are a member of Realtor World, you belong to 3 organizations. You belong to your local Realtor Association. That's the board in your county, where you live, in your city, where you can actually hang out with fellow realtors. It's where you take your dues check if you still pay by check. It's where you have lunch and learns. It's where education is offered. There are so many things that we think about with our local board of realtors. You also belong to your state association of realtors. And I'm in North Carolina. Hey, what's up? In North Carolina realtors, that is where the forms come from. So we have a standardized form that realtors can use across the state, which makes it so much more efficient and easier to explain to our buyers and sellers what they're getting into when they are transacting real estate. Those forms are provided by the State Association of Realtors. They are checked on by the Bar Association. They are affirmed by the Real Estate Commission, and it makes doing business far less expensive for the consumer and much more efficient for the agent, most of whom are not lawyers. And so it keeps us from practicing law, which would violate that code of ethics thing. So that's what you also belong to. And then the third thing that you belong to, well, association, is the National Association of Realtors. That is where we do the big advocacy, where we talk in Washington, D.C. with the regulatory agencies like the Veterans Administration, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. It's where we make sure that there's a 30-year fixed mortgage. If you didn't know, it's the realtors who make sure we have affordable mortgages. That's where we make sure there's flood insurance out there for people who live in flood zones. And no, that's not just McMansions. That is Mama, who lives in a brick ranch down by the creek, and FEMA drew some flood zones around her. So we make sure that those programs exist. And frankly, we've been pushing for reform for decades up there, but it's a slow moving target in DC. So you think about all 3 of those organizations, they all bring a benefit to the buyers and sellers that we serve in real estate. And as a realtor member, you belong to all 3. So back to the frequently asked questions. With all the kerfluffle going on around real estate right now, and because it's the time of year when you are getting an email from your association that says dues are due, I had a question from many people yesterday, one of whom said, can I just belong to my local association and not bother with the state and the national? And I wrote this agent back and I said, actually, no, because when you belong to one, you belong to all 3. That's called the 3-way agreement. So when you hear that referenced in Realtor World, the 3-way agreement, that's what it means. When you belong to one, you belong to all 3. Now, that doesn't mean that in the future it won't look different, but as of right now, you belong to all 3. But I just want you to know that all 3 bring a level of value to you, the agent, and to the people you serve. Now, if you're the troll who wants to argue with me that realtors aren't good, I'm just going to lovingly tell you to shut it, because realtors on the balance are really good people. And yeah, there's a few bad apples. There are in every business. But ours is made up of small micro businesses, of people who really care about the outcomes for their consumers. And that's who's in these associations. I'm going to tell you that I think the people who are in all 3 of those associations are trying their darndest to do good work for their communities through real estate. That hasn't changed, and I don't believe it's going to change. Now, the other thing I want you to know, as we think about those frequently asked realtor questions, can I let go of all the Realtor R stuff and still belong to the multiple listing service? The answer to that, it depends on where you are. Most associations own the multiple listing services. That's just the way it was built over time. That's who started the multiple listing services, or free and fair marketplace of data sharing and offers of cooperation and compensation in the world, which allow the consumer to have a full and complete and transparent choice in the marketplace. The MLS is a really good thing. Some of them are owned by the associations. The association says you have to belong to the association to get access to our product. So you should ask your MLS if you need to be a realtor to belong to the multiple. If the answer is yes, then you're staying a part of the 3-way agreement. Some associations and their MLSs have turned into 2 different bodies. Some multiple listing services allow non-realtor members to join and thus participate in the data sharing and the cooperation. If that's your area, you get to choose if you want to be a realtor member or not. I'm just going to tell you that the Leigh Brown perspective is there is far more benefit to being a Realtor member in the trade association because of what it means to the clients that I serve than there is in not being a part of the association and standing alone. But that's a personal business choice that you get to make in your market. Now, this video may be out of date very quickly. Who knows? Because things do change. But if you have a question about organized real estate or what it means to be a Realtor, ask in the comments, or if you don't want to ask in the comments, send me a private message and maybe you'll see it answered here on a video later, because we do this together so that we can benefit our clients in a bigger way. One person by themselves can fall down, but a cord that is made of 3 strands is not easily broken.